Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to Chair Yoga for Everyone. We'll be doing 20 minutes of yoga today. You will not need any props but for a chair, preferably one without arms. So let's start out. Maybe scoot forward a bit in your chair. Have your sit bones nice and evenly weighted. Feet flat on the floor. Palms in your lap, either face up or face down. And we'll spend just a couple of minutes getting centered. Close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths. We'll try to keep the world out for 20 minutes. So just take a moment to focus on the breath, feeling the air, filling up your lungs. And then nice deep exhales, getting every last bit of air out of the lungs. You've got 20 minutes all to yourself today, so leave work and kids and school, whatever's on your mind, try to leave that outside. A couple more nice deep breaths. Now if you've got the eyes closed, float the eyes open. Let's start with some neck circles. Maybe you'll hear some popping and crackling, but be kind to your neck. Go the other direction. If I'm cueing anything that's uncomfortable to you, you need to modify it. Everybody's body is different. You might have injuries you're minding. Just be careful through all these exercises, these asanas. So from here, let's wake up the shoulders. Do some shoulder shrugs up and down. Maybe some circles forward. Lots of popping and crackling here for me. Backward. Big circles. Now let's place the hands on the shoulders. More circles. Shoulders can be very sensitive. And if you have a shoulder injury, you already know that. Reverse the direction on your circles here. Okay, so now let's stay with the shoulders, and we're going to connect the breath. We're going to link the breath and the movement. So we'll inhale the arms up, and on an exhale, exhale the arms down. So you want at the top of the inhale, time it so the palms meet. At the bottom of the exhale, the hands will be at your side. So this is what we do in yoga. We connect the breath to the body movement. One more. Now from here, let's give yourself a big hug. So I've got right arm on top, but do whatever's comfortable. We're going to switch it around. Reach for your shoulder blades. So it's like you're trying to pull your shoulder blades apart. You can probably feel this in the shoulders, warming up a bit. Now on an inhale, raise your hands so that either the backs of your palms are touching or your palms are connecting and you're pressing your forearms into each other. This is eagle arms, Garudasana. So actively press your elbows away from the body and lift them up so they're not down here. So you can feel your shoulder blades wrapping around your back. You're actively pressing the elbows away and lifting up. Couple of breaths here. Actively pressing your palms together too. Eagle. And on exhale, we'll unwind, shake it out. We'll do that again with the other arm on top. So whichever arm you had on top, change it up. Give yourself a big hug. Try to pull your shoulder blades apart. And then on an inhale, lift the hands. Maybe this side is different. Just notice, no judgment. We're actively pressing the elbows away from the body and we're lifting them up. So they're not down here, they're up here. Actively pressing the forearms together. And we're breathing. Don't stop breathing when you get into a challenging pose. It's kind of easy to do. And on an exhale, we unwind, shake it out. Now we'll do some cat-cow. Again, I'll turn sideways so you can see. So the hands on the knees, feet flat on the floor. And on the inhale, we lift the heart, lift the gaze, and round the back, and a little bit of a back bend. And on an exhale, round the back, drop the head. So we're moving with our breath here. Exhale. This is cat-cow. Waking up the spine. Flexion and extension in the spine. One more. Okay, enough of cat-cow. Now we'll move on to half moon pose or Ardha Chandrasana. We did a little different version of this last week, but okay, again, feet flat on the floor. We'll inhale the arms up, and on an exhale, take hold of your right wrist and bend to the left. See if you can keep your sit bones even on the chair. It's very challenging because you don't want to be falling off. And on an inhale, we lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, maybe deepen the bend just a bit. The gaze is towards the sky. Work within your range of motion, though. We're going to do the other side now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take hold of the left wrist and stretch to the right. Notice your hip, your sit bone is going to want to come off the chair. Try to glue it down. On the exhale, maybe get a little deeper into that lateral bend. Inhale up. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, take hold of the right wrist and stretch to the left. Maybe you'll get a little bit deeper this time. Maybe you won't. It's another spinal movement, lateral. Last time, inhale up, exhale, bend to the right. And we're still breathing. Inhale up, exhale, let the hands drop. Shake it out. So now we're going to do some twists, which I love. Now I'm going to spin my chair, but you don't have to. Just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So I want you to sit sideways on the chair. Again, you might be scooted up a little forward because we want your feet flat on the floor. And on an inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, twist towards the back of the chair and grab hold of the back of the chair for a nice twist at the waist. Now take a look at your legs. The leg that's farthest away from the chair might be sticking out a little bit further. So that means you're twisting at the hips. So bring the knees even if you can. And as we did in the other pose, and most of our poses, we inhale and lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, maybe deepen the twist just a bit. No need to force anything, just nice, easy twist. This is really good for your internal organs. Couple more breaths. Inhale, and then on an exhale, unwind, and then we switch to the other side. So, feet flat on the ground. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, twist towards the back of the chair. Grab hold of the back of the chair. And now take a look at the knees. Did the knee furthest from the chair end up popping out a little bit further? Bring it back so you can focus the twist on the waist. And on the inhale, get nice and tall. And on the exhale, maybe get a little deeper into that twist. Nice juicy twist. Feels good. Couple more breaths. And on an exhale, unwind, shake it out. Move my chair back. Okay, so moving on. Bringing the legs on this one. Again, scoot a little bit towards the front of the chair. Bring the left leg, or whichever leg you want, in towards the body. Hug it to the chest. Wrap your hands around your shin, or maybe you need to wrap them around the thigh. Maybe it won't go this high. Maybe it's down here. Whatever your body tells you is okay, let's go with that. Couple of breaths. Maybe get the knee a little bit closer with each exhale. Really use your breath. And now from here, let's take hold of the foot and put the ankle over the knee. Let the other knee drop. So, figure 4 you're looking at here. And on an inhale, lift the rib cage, and on an exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Now, you might only get this far. Go within your range of motion. The bent foot is, bent leg is flexed. And depending how flexible you are, you might end up going all the way down, but work within your range of motion here. You should be feeling a nice opening in the hip. Couple of breaths. And on an inhale, rise up slowly, and then we'll extend the leg. Have it hovering off the floor. Point and flex a few times. Do some circles. You want to have strong ankles. And then twist the foot pointing inward and outward. Set it down. We'll do the other leg. Inhale. Take hold of maybe the right leg this time. Hands interlaced, fingers interlaced around the shin or the thigh. Couple of breaths here. Keeping the spine nice and tall. And from here, we're going to bend the leg so the ankle is over the knee. Foot's flexed. Inhale, rib cage up. Exhale, hinge at the hips to whatever point feels good to you. And notice if this side is different than the other side. We are very asymmetrical. Well, I am anyways. So this side feels very different than the other side. Maybe you'll get a little deeper with each exhale, a little tiny bit deeper, maybe not. Hopefully you're getting a nice stretch in the hip there. And we'll inhale. Lift back up. Now extend the leg. Have it hovering off the floor. Do some pointing and flexing. And some circles. All right, waking up the legs. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit. I'm going to turn my chair so you can see what we're doing. But we warmed up the back with a tiny little bit of a back bend. We warmed up the legs. So now get your hands on either side of the chair. You can walk your feet out a bit. And on an inhale, this is going to be a reverse table. We're going to lift the hips. Lift the hips, pressing into the palms. Lift the hips. And if you want to try something different, you can put the legs straight and have a reverse plank. This might be a lot on your shoulders, so if it is, just modify. Stay low. Keep your knees bent. Getting a lot of good work in the shoulders and in the core here. And on an exhale, let the hips back down to the chair. Walk the legs back. Nice work. Shake it out. Okay, so now we're going to stand up. Yes, it's chair yoga, but it doesn't mean we sit the whole time. You can stand behind your chair. We're just going to do some heel and toe lifts, waking up the shins and the calves. Take nice deep breaths on the toes, and the bottom onto the feet, and then on the backs of the feet. See how that feels. So now we're going to try Trikonasana. So we're going to stand in front of the chair. So I'm going to start with my left foot right under the chair and right foot back. So the heel is aligning with the, the arch. Heel aligning with the arch. And your hips are facing this way, the camera. You might have a wide stance, it might be narrow, but you'll see how it feels once we do it. So then the arms go out, and then we stretch the fingertips towards the chair, let the hand fall, the closest hand to fall. Both legs are still straight, right? So from here, inhale, the arm up. So this is triangle pose. If that doesn't feel good on the shoulder, you can keep your hand on your hip, or even the back of your hand on your sacrum and kind of open up the chest a little bit. But the traditional way is like this. And if you're more flexible, you can bend the arm that's on the chair, go a little further into the pose. Now try not to lock out the knees. Have a tiny little micro bend in the knees. You're stretching those fingertips towards the sky. Maybe the gaze is following. If that feels okay on your neck, Trikonasana, triangle pose. So on an inhale, we'll reach back up. If you need some help, bend the knee towards the chair and step in, and then we'll do the other side. I know I'm moving my chair a lot, but you don't need to. I'm just trying to stay on camera here. So this time I got my right foot under the chair, left foot back. Front arch aligns with, front heel aligns with back arch. Stretch the hands out. Now stretch the right fingertips towards the chair. When you get as far as you can, let the right hand drop. Left hand, you know what to do. Either go straight up or to the hip, or back of the hand rests on your sacrum. I'm going to go with this version. And you're peeling your chest open, using the hand that's on the chair to open up the chest. If you can get any deeper, let your arm bend. Maybe gazing up towards the sky. Couple of breaths here. Don't lock the knees out. Little micro bend in the knees. And on an inhale, rise back up. Maybe step towards the chair. Shake it out. We had to warm up our shoulders for that. Hopefully you felt all right. Now we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So, legs are wider than the chair. Now, this is going to be completely up to you how wide the feet go, but this is called a wide-legged forward fold. So the legs are wide, toes are maybe pigeon-toed a little bit in, and we're going to hinge at the hips. So, inhale, lift the rib cage, and on an exhale, we hinge forward till you reach the chair. And again, this is up to you how far you're going to go. Maybe this is as far as you go, but if you can keep going, go further down. If you can reach the floor, fine. You might want to adjust your toes, adjust your feet, but the chair is fine. So you're ultimately the crown of your head's reaching towards the floor, but if you can't do that with your shoulders, that's fine. You're getting a good stretch in the hamstrings. Try not to lock out the knees. Have a tiny little micro bend in the knees. And try to seal the outer edges of your feet into the floor, like you're trying to smush them together. A couple more breaths here. And on an And inhale, rise back up, hinging at the hips. If you need some help, keep your hands on the chair and then heel toe the feet together or jump them up together. And we're all set. How'd that feel? Wide-legged forward fold. Okay, coming to the end of our time together. Let's meet back on the chair for a child's pose. So, feet flat on the floor. This is where we get heavy. We hinge forward and then let your whole upper body drape on your lower body. Let the arms fall. You can have your hands on your knees if you need a little bit of support. Maybe you can't get down that far. That's fine. Go down nice and slow to wherever your maximum is. If it's all the way down, it's all the way down. If you want to get deeper, you can open the legs and hinge in between the legs and then let the head fall. So stay nice and heavy here. It's a little challenging to the breathing, but that's good. Gives you some exercise to the diaphragm. Stay down there low, still just breathing. Noticing your heart rate is probably different than the beginning of class. Maybe you've built up a little bit of heat. Couple more breaths. Now we're going to raise back up, put the hands to the knees. Help yourself back up. And we're back where we started. Let's take a couple of cleansing breaths. Inhaling through the mouth and inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Okay, inhale and exhale. Two more, inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. So I hope you enjoyed this chair yoga practice. I hope to see you again. And at the end of our yoga class, we say, Namaste.